For a hefty park entrance, look at the size of this receipt. I don't have this much paperwork for my tax returns. I am really starting to become proud of my ability in Spanish. This sign at the park entrance says the park is pertinent to all Colombians, including those who have already died, those who are living, but the majority of people who have not yet been born. At 200 square kilometers, Tayrona National Park contains dense jungle and hugs the Caribbean coastline. Hi, I'm Matt, and welcome to this edition of Borders on Budgets. On this episode, we are in northern Colombia, where in Tayrona National Park, we will start here, walk to the coast, traipse our way back through the jungle, and see several villages along the way. A slog of a hike. I'm nuclear free. Tree branch or part of a log. Sharka. Sweat.
No es permitido por sugerencia de los indígenas. No es permitido la visita en pueblito. Para ellos esos son sitios sagrados y no permiten el acceso al visitante. Entonces ya no es permitido.
Gracias.
Okay. Have a nice day. Mantienen avanzando los carros y los vehículos y el ruido hace que los animales se vayan más hacia la montaña. Entonces es más fácil en la caminata después que hace de toda la montaña y no hay tanto ruido.
I've just barely entered the park's gates and somehow I've seemed to have saved myself 2 or 3 hours of time by not being able to visit the indigenous village or walk 5 kilometers to get to the beach. Okay, so for 5,000 pesos, or about $1.25, it'll save me the hour of the walk. And as this gentleman says, there's no point walking if the animals are going to run away because of the noise. Spent now $20 US, most of which for the entrance fee, of which for extranjeros, foreigners, we pay about double. And there's also the mandatory insurance, the blue ribbon. The blue ribbon is $1.25 for mandatory day insurance. Yo he pagado $20. ¿Dónde están los jaguares? Yeah, it's a little warm. In the solitude of the jungle, let's take a moment to appreciate the size of this mammoth boulder. Well, I couldn't help but film this guy's tat as I wanted to talk about the indigenous tribes that live here in Tayrona. No sooner did I film the tat of those gentlemen with the Indian head than this fellow comes along, and this would be more of the indigenous of South America. At this sign, for example, it talks about the legend of the father of the stones, which is the owner and the creator of these large rocks. And certainly under this massive boulder, you can feel something. There is a spiritual presence. Well, based on the early restrictions at the park entrance as to where we can and can't go today, plus this heat and humidity, that definitely has quashed my ambitions of circumnavigating Tayrona, and perhaps just as well. So I think whenever we get to the beach and the first, maybe the second village, we'll call it a day there. Well, the first sign of the Caribbean Sea. All praise Carl de Cucuy, the mother of water. Perhaps not surprising, there is an indigenous god that owns this window. Land meets sea. I was expecting a village to be right here, but I'm sure a short walk along the beach will take me to where I think I've got to be. Still a ways to go. I thought that village was a whole lot closer. I can't say when the last time this lifeguard chair actually saw any action along this isolated beach. I don't know what to say about this Playa Arrecifes. I was expecting a little bit more action. Perhaps I had it in my dream that there would be a cabana where I could get a cerveza on the playa, but that just ain't happening here. Yeah, there were a couple of huts about 100-200 meters inland, but I was hoping for something along the beach. But yeah, that just didn't happen. Well, this cabana will have to do, and it's not a cerveceria, it's a panaderia. Pan de chocolate. Well, yeah, I was kind of hoping for a beer on the beach. Instead, it's chocolate bread with a coffee inland. But well, there it is. Sometimes you just can't plan ahead. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning into this edition of Borders on Budgets. A reminder: Borders on Budgets. Local people, natural sounds, not a lot of money. From the Playa Arrecifes along the Caribbean coast in northern Colombia, in Tayrona National Park, thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. And after the extra, I'll figure out, in fact, how much time it should have taken me to get to this spot.